What is going on, guys? It's Joel from JK Sports 7 back here on a Monday. Big week this week. Got the NFL schedule release going on this week, so kind of see what things line up. Have a much better idea of kind of over-unders. We'll do over-unders probably next week on the channel. Look at the teams over-unders based on the schedule. Get a good idea of how the league could shape up. Then over the weekend, big news: Saints quarterback Derek Carr retired due to injury. This whole injury thing has been weird to say the least. He seemed fine going in the offseason. All of a sudden, injury popped up. They were talking about drafting a quarterback. This seems kind of wild, but it kind of puts them in a weird spot now at quarterback when they only really have two young quarterbacks on their roster. They got Spencer Rattler, who played quite a bit last year. I would say not someone you're excited about going in next season. And they drafted Tyler Shuck this year in the draft. Kind of handpicked by Kellen Moore. Could be his guy, but I think the room, we can all kind of admit, the room kind of lacks overall veteran presence. So what do you look for? What's Kellen Moore going to do? Kind of add some depth and maybe an established starter. Do you want to push, Shuck out there from week one? You don't. I would say not really comfortable having Rattler as your starting quarterback. This late in the process, there's not a whole lot of quarterbacks left out there, veteran presence wise, on the market. There's really two names that kind of raise the top of the list: Carson Wentz, who best days are behind him for sure. More of a backup, was with Kansas City recently, and then Teddy Bridgewater, kind of the true modern day journeyman, kind of bounced around quite a bit. Has been a dependable backup, you would say. I'd say you feel more comfortable with him going into your season week one, with hopefully Rattler or Shuck kind of winning the spot mid-season, but can at least provide some insight to these young guys who haven't played much NFL football. I mean, Shuck's played a lot of football in college, but there is going to be a transition to him going from college to the pros. So really interesting development on that front. Just wanted to let me know what you guys think down below. Who would be the quarterback starting week one? Would it be Tyler Shuck, Carson Wentz, Spencer Rattler, Teddy Bridgewater? Could they make a trade like a Will Levis now that the Titans got Cam Ward? Could they make a trade for that? A lot of the teams, looking at it, a lot of teams just signed their backup quarterback. So you want there to be a whole lot of movement there. Looking at Jimmy Garoppolo maybe, but are you really that excited about Garoppolo? Does Garoppolo want to leave the Rams? It's a pretty good spot there. Looking at Andy Dalton could be an option, give a veteran presence with the Panthers. Kind of feel like he's falling back to a true backup behind Bryce Young. Bryce Young kind of jumped off the sheet last year. Probably solidify that starting role there. There's not a whole lot else within in the backup quarterback market you're really excited about to bring in. So, let me guys think down below. Like, comment who you think the Saints quarterback is going to be starting week one, and who do you think can be a starting quarterback? Week 18. That's gonna be just as interesting for there. And then, guys, next week we'll be back. Me and Kevin will be back, kind of looking the over and unders once the schedule release. We might be able to do something midweek here when the schedule does release on Wednesday. Kind of big games to look at. Kind of circle on your calendars on that. And then next week we'll do over the over unders. Kind of break down where the betting line is currently, and if we think it's too high, too low, and kind of a brief reason why. So we appreciate, guys. Again, this is Joel with JK Sports 7. Appreciate you guys. Catch you guys next time.